I'm sorry to anyone who may find me tonight in whatever state I may end up in by the hand of the devil. I'm sorry to Dr. Hezelius, or to my good servant Jones, the only two men who knew of the demonic forces which have tormented me for 3 long years.
October 15th, 1866, was exactly the day this hell began. I'd stayed out past a reasonable hour with my fellow clergyman David, studying books on paganism at the library. David had left quite a bit before I, therefore I was to find a way home on my own. No cabs were around at this hour, however, so I waited on the omnibus to make its rounds near the library. It was just the half-asleep driver and I on the cobble road, quiet penetrated by the creak and trot of the bus. On the opposite side of the bus, I noticed a small pair of red dots gleaming in the moonlight, bobbing as the wheels rolled over the stones. Curious, I walked to the side of the bus, the eyes still obscured by the deep shadow. I was near inches from the dots when I saw a dark silhouette of a monkey, sending me back. I called the driver to stop, frightened by the strange animal, and made the walk to my townhouse on foot. I knew that the monkey had followed me the entire way back and into my home, but I could not bear to turn and look it in the face, its presence burning a red hot into my back. Thus began the first year of the monkey following me, always running across the rooftops as I walked the town square, sitting in the pews when I preached, and watching through the crack of the closet door. The apparition was pure black in the day, only its eyes poked like red holes in its silhouette. At night, however, a red halo glowed around its form, and each of its ugly teeth shined in the moonlight. I believed the illusion was a symptom of the green tea I began to drink at the time. I tried to stop the habit, but the monkey continued to follow, and the need for energy persisted. I had almost accepted its presence until the second year, when the monkey began to interfere with my daily life. He would begin to sit on top of the scripture as I preached, causing me to swiftly end the sermon, and the congregants left confused. Less and less I would hold sermons. People reached out with concern, yet I was never able to choke out the truth of the matter. I absolved myself in Swedenborg's spiritual writings, the Arcana Celestia, as well as other series on demonic influence, metaphysics, and spiritual guides. Contained to my study, I began to neglect relationships as I tried to discern this possession. The monkey was always over my shoulder. Its face grew more malicious with each passing day. Desperately, I searched for a cure to this disorder, this problem, if it was purely psychological, but with every professional consultation, I would be unable to confess my possession. That was not until I met a Dr. Martin Hezelius, a physician, at a friend's small house party. I approached him, being aware of his work in metaphysics, and began to inquire over his published papers. We conversed over the duration of the party, when I then asked him to meet me privately at my church the next morning. Dr. Hezelius, I'm sure, knew I wanted a psychological consultation, and agreed to the meeting. In the pews of the nave the doctor and I sat, the monkey peering around the altar ahead. Hezelius began asking why I called on him this morning to meet alone. I found myself choking on the words again. I had never told anyone the full truth about the monkey, only parts to Jones, as he saw me in various states of distress in my home. The monkey scowled at me as if warning not to expose him, but I could not let him control me anymore. I told Dr. Hezelius the story from start to finish, explaining the theories on mind possession, or condition. He listened with deep understanding late into the day, not once questioning the validity of my story. When I exhausted the entire series of events, the doctor recommended I visit his office for a true consultation, so we could figure out a solution. Thanking him, I felt that I could finally put these past few years of torture to rest. As I closed the doors behind Dr. Hezelius, I heard a dark growl behind my ear whisper, "You shouldn't have told him." I spun around, yet saw nothing behind. The monkey had never said a word to me up until now.
I ran to my townhouse immediately, where I found a mess of my study room. The monkey had knocked over my bookcase and torn the Arcana Celestia to shreds. But the monkey was nowhere in sight. It was going to do something to me tonight, I knew. The door to the study is locked, and I have the rifle. I do not know what will happen to me tonight, but I have a feeling I won't survive it. This time, though, I'll face the demon after 3 years of hiding. May God have mercy on my soul.